Everyone, welcome back to Out Coding, and welcome back to the third episode of our Discord.py series, where we show you how to build a Discord bot. Right, in this video we're going to be doing some cogs. So basically what cogs do is, uh, generally you'd have all your code, or if you didn't use cogs, you'd have all your code in this file. This file can end up being thousands of lines long. And then, when you go to find something, say you need to edit something, you have to go Control F, and you have to find whatever you want to find. And it gets hard, especially when you want to get stuff done quickly. So it's more efficient to use cogs, which basically means um to use like different files. So you have a file for your moderation commands, maybe your developer commands, all that kind of stuff. We're also going to be hiding this token. So obviously this is your bot token. You don't want anyone getting this because then they can access your bot. So we need to hide this. We're gonna put it in a file. And this is handy if you want to upload it to GitHub, or like me, I don't have to change it after every video. So we're gonna do that first. Um, so the first thing we're gonna do is you can come over, if you're using like Visual Studio Code, you can come over here and hit the new file button. Or you can go to your let me drag it over, or you can go to your file explorer, which I'll be using in case you're not using Visual Studio Code. What you want to do is create a new file or any text document and call it token. Whoops. Dot zero, and yes, and just hit yes, and yes, dot zero is a file that Python can read. You can use .txt, but I know dot zero works, and you're not really going to have any other dot zero files in your folder, so it just helps distinctivize, or just make it distinctive. So then what you want to do is right click this and open with, and just hit Notepad. I'm not going to hit that. You can if you want, but yeah, open with Notepad. Open up a Notepad. And what you want to do is go and grab your token like that, and open back up your, yes, I have a lot of notepads open there on my plans. I cannot code off my top of my head. Anyway, all you want to do is Control V, paste your token in like that. So it's just the only thing in this file. Then hit save, close it. So then here, what we want to do is, we're obviously going to be doing more stuff down here, but for now we're just going to enter down a bit. We're going to do with open. I'll explain what this does in a minute once I've typed it out. With open token dot zero. Obviously if you call it something different, you put that there, but I'm gonna say token dot zero because that's what I called it. Comma or encoding equals. Obviously I've used Visual Studio Code's thing where you can you can quickly select stuff. But yeah, you can type it otherwise. It doesn't really make a difference. UTF just makes it quicker. UTF 8. And then we're going to use, and then you want to do as f, like that. And then we'll do bot token equals f.read, like that. Because that's the only thing in that file, we don't have to like specify what we want to actually read. But if you do other stuff in that file, which we might do, we might make a config file later on in the series. We might have to put some extra stuff here, but anyway, that's for this episode. This is what you need to do. So basically what this does is, it opens up the token.0 file with read permissions, and just encodes it as UTF-8, so it's encoding. It's not like, open. I'm bad at explaining it, but anyway, you just Google search UTF-8 if you want. And then saying as f, so it's going to be called f, and then we're just saying bot token, we're just making a variable, equals f.read, so read f, which is our token.0 file. So now we have this variable called bot token. So now all we have to do is select our client.run, get rid of all that, and instead just put in bot token like that. You don't need inverted commas or anything, so yeah, just like that. And yeah, so now everything should run. Let me open up the CMD. Obviously you can use VS Code, but I'm gonna be using this way. Use pi-3.8. Oh, by the way, a question I got. If you're not using 3.8, say you're using the newest 3.9, which I don't recommend because I have heard people have issues with it, and just flip to 3.9, or in the future if there's a Python 4, I presume you just go 4, dot 0. But at this current time, or what I'm using is 3.8, so I'm going to put 3.8. But yeah, put whatever version you use there. And yeah, so Python 3.8, bots.py. And it should start. Bot is connected to Discord, and bot is ready. If we plonk in here, we should see O2 coding bot is online, and we can do our test. That great. Right now, next thing we can do is we're just gonna kill that. I do Control C, by the way. I think I said that before, but yeah, if you were wondering, Control C. Next, what we're actually gonna do is start creating some cogs. So in this video, we're gonna be creating a dev cog and a mod cog, which we'll obviously use more in, in the later on in the series. These first videos are really just setting stuff up for the series. So first thing we're gonna want to do is we're gonna open up your file explorer again. In your directory where your bot.py folder is, or bot.py file is, and your token.0, you're gonna create a new folder and call it cogs. Hit enter. If you've opened with folder in VS Code, it'll all show up here. But yeah, so open up cogs, and then you're gonna open up in VS Code like that. And if you're using VS Code, just select it and then hit file like that. And you want to call this dev.py or whatever you want to, like, it doesn't have to be called dev.py, it's whatever you want. But I like to call them what's in the file. We might as well create all our files now. So we're going to create another one called mod.py. So in the future, this will be putting our moderation commands like kick, ban, mute, etc. All those kind of stuff. Alright, so one more thing we have to do in the bot.py file before we do that, just before all this. We want to go cogs equal, and then curly brackets like that, and then cogs.dev and cogs.mod. And that's it. Basically what this is doing is it's telling you that these are the cogs that we're using. So cogs.dev and cogs.mod. So we have our dev and a mod cog. We don't have to put .py. We're using cogs. Because it's in the cogs folder. So when we make more cogs later on in the series, so say like a games one, we'll have to add it here, .games or whatever. There might be better ways to do it, but it's not as reliable. It's just easier to do it this way. We might come across another one later on in the series. But yeah, this will do for the moment. And I did use the wrong brackets there. They are supposed to be curly brackets. My apologies. They are supposed to be curly brackets, not square brackets. Yeah. Sorry about that. So now what we want to do is if underscore name that's 2 underscores, by the way. So if underscore name underscore equals underscore main underscore, which are in inverted commas or whatever you want to call these. And I want to do colon. I'll explain this in a minute. And I want to do for cog in cogs client, which is your bot. Remember we defined it up here. Client dot load underscore extension. Forget type. And then cog. Finally, print. F and then cog. Okay, there we go. Cog has been successfully loaded. I'm great typing. Right. So basically what this will do is once the bot starts, it's gonna load all your cogs. So if name equals main, this is the thing you do in Python. In a lot of the bots I actually don't do it and it seems to work okay, but this is recommended in a lot of places. I think it's just making sure the file is ready. I'm honestly not sure. If anyone has a better description than me, post it down below or let me know. I'd really appreciate it. Because I did have a look up and stuff, and I legit have no idea why this is used. But yeah, I just put it in. So then we're just making a for loop. So for cog in cogs. So we're saying cog is in cogs. So it's basically just dividing these up. And then it's going to load the extension. So client.load extension, which extensions are cogs. So if you're looking at the documentation, they're mainly referred to as extensions and not cogs. So load extension cog, and then print the cog has been successfully loaded. So that will print out in your console once the cog has been loaded fully. Right, so next thing we're going to do this in the dev one, and then we can kind of use this like a template for a rest of our cogs. I'm just going to template up myself. Okay, so in these new files, we do need to do our imports again. So import Discord. We're probably using datetime, import datetime. and obviously our from discord.ext import commands. But that's really all we need to do in the imports. We don't need to do client equals or anything. Right, so next we want to create a class. So class, and then whatever your cog is called. So mine's called dev. So I'm going to do cog dev, or dev b. It's going to come from commands.cog. Like that. I can type. And then like that. So this is creating a class, and it's going to use commands.cogs, which we've imported here. Right, next thing we want to do is def underscore init underscore self and bot, like that, and then we're going to go self dot bot equals bot. So basically what this is doing is in this file at least, instead of using client, which we would have used in the main file, like client.load extension, we're going to be using self.bot.load extension. Basically it's just because we're not in the main file and we're not defining it, so self.bot is what we're going to use. And another change is when we want to create a command, which we're about to do as well, instead of a client command, it's a commands.command, a commands.command, like that. But yeah, we'll be doing that in a minute. And then the final thing we need to do is a setup. So if you don't run this without a setup, it just won't work. This is ran like first, before it actually reads anything in here. So if it can't find this, it'll just throw a big error and saying setup is missing. So basically all you want to do is, that's not what I wanted to do. Dev setup, and then in here we're going to go bot.add underscore cog dev, and then bot. So this needs to be whatever your cog's called, which mine's called dev, so we're going to do it as that. Okay, let's leave here for the moment, but let's highlight this all and control C it. And let's go into our mod.py, and let's just control V it. So that's the easiest thing to do. Obviously you can type it out if you want, but if you're lazy, I mean, it's the exact same thing. It'll save you a little bit. That's also going to save time in the video, so I'm going to do it that way. All we need to really change here is the class name. So change it to mod, and down here we're going to also change this to mod. So that's legit for now anyway. For the setup, that's really all we need to change. And it's like the bare bones of this is the bare bones of a cog. So I believe if we run this, if I haven't done any silly, there we go. We're gonna get PyCache in your folder. Don't worry about that. That's just cache of Python. So it's gonna say Cogs mod has successfully been loaded. Cogs dev has successfully been loaded. The bot's connected to Discord, bot's ready. So our bot's up again. You can see we can do our test command again, like that. All right, now back in here, and stop this. Obviously, keep it running if you want. But we're gonna leave the mod cog for. Actually, no, we'll do one thing in the mod cog. We might as well do. It's just a quick. We'll probably remove this later in the series, but it's a quick command just to make sure it's working properly. So you want to do is commands at commands.command, and then parentheses async def. Parentheses are just brackets, by the way, like that. We're not going to put anything in them. Mod test and self ctx. Yeah. We're going to await ctx dot send cog cog mod is working. Like that. You can obviously say whatever you want here, but I'm just going to say that. That's what I mean. Oh, that's another thing. Anything you do here. Oh, voice crack. Nice. Anything you do here will require self. So, async def mod test self. First, if we're in the bot.py, we just put ctx. But we need to put self here because we're referring back to here or the main file. Alright. Let me see. And that's all we want to do for there. So let's run that real quick. Just make sure it's all working. And we get no errors. They've been successfully loaded and the bot is ready. Nice. Alright, so now if we do a mod test, cog mod is working. So now we know the cog is connected and stuff. And yeah, it's all good. Also, if we use the help command, you'll see that they're now separated into their cogs. So you see mod, You can see the mod stuff, and then obviously no category, just our main file. It's like this. We'll be changing this help command out, but it's pretty cool to know that it does this. As the default one, because we actually haven't coded this. It's already in the bot. Right, back into VS Code. So now we're done with the mod cog just for today. Probably go back to it next episode. But we're going to head over to our dev one, which we can do some cool stuff in. Okay, so now we're going to start the dev.py cog. Right, so the first thing we're going to do is make a reload command. So basically what this is going to do is restart the cog. So if we make a change and say the dev cog, we don't have to restart the whole bot. We can just restart this cog. So it's it's much easier and more efficient. When you're editing stuff and testing stuff, you don't have to keep restarting it. So yeah, let's start it. Add commands command. No, add commands dot command. Alias. We're gonna make an alias here. If I can spell that correctly. We're gonna make or and reload. There's nice alias tabs, like you can just do your prefix and or and then whatever the cog you want to restart. No colon there. No colon there. Sorry. It's just easier. The next thing we're gonna do is called a check. So we're gonna do add commands dot is underscore owner, like that, and then parentheses. This got to check. So basically, what it's doing is whenever someone runs this command, it's gonna check if they're the owner of the bot. So only the owner, so you can run this command, because if anyone else could do it, they can just mess around with your bot. They'd probably crash it, So just so you can do this. Whether the owner is defined as the person who owns or created the app on the Discord website. So that's the owner of the bot. You don't have to actually define owner anywhere. Alright, next thing we want to do, thanks VS Code. Next thing we want to do is async def, like as any other command, we're going to do restart. Oops, I'm smart. Self, cdx, and cog. Okay, so what that's going to do is, we're going to be able to do our prefix restart, and then the cog we want to restart, so dev, say. So all we have to do is dot, or prefix restart. When I say prefix, it's your prefix that we defined. So in my case, it's that. Nope, it's that. You can hardly say that. It's the greater than symbol. Okay, so what this is gonna do is we're gonna be able to do our prefix restart, and then the cog we want to restart. So like say dev or mod. So we can do like restart dev, and it'll restart this file itself. Surprisingly, you can actually restart the file that you. So we can actually restart the dev file, even though in here it's telling you to unload and load. I don't know how that works, but I did test it and it works. So yeah, I don't know. Okay, so for this command, we're gonna basically edit a message. You can obviously do this the other way. You can just send two messages, but I'm gonna show you guys how to do this way, so it's good for future and stuff. But basically, what it's gonna do is once you issue the command, it's gonna say restarting the cog, and once everything's done, once everything's all complete and everything went okay, it'll edit that message, say restart the cog. So yeah, let's get going. So we have to do this. We actually have to make message a variable. And it's easy enough. All we have to do is message equals await cdx.send. Like any other regular thing, we need to make it an f string. We're going to go restarting, and then cog. No cogs, cog. I like to put a few dots at the end just to make it look like it's doing something. And then what we do is self.boss. So if you remember earlier on in the episode, we did a client. So for this we do self.bot.unload underscore extension. Instead of client, because we're in a cog, we use self.bot. And in here we do f-string cogs dot and cog. Make sure you close your curly brackets. And then it's the same thing on the next line, except self.bot dot load extension. So that's the only difference. Load extension, and then f cogs dot cog. So the same as the other one. Just like that. And then finally, we're going to do await message dot edit. So it's going to actually edit the message, which is this. Yeah, await message dot edit. Content. equals, make sure this is an F string, and restarted, Cog, like that. Yeah, one thing I like to do here is something called Discord markup. Basically, it makes like a little embed around this cog, so I'll show you what it looks like when we test this. But um, basically, you hit the grave here on your keyboard twice, and it'll make those two little things. Just remove one. All you need is one there, and do the same at the other end there. So it's like that. If you want to have a look at it, I'll show you what it does. Once we test it, and yes, I think that's it for that. Right, so let's have a look at that. We're gonna do 2 more commands there, but we'll do that afterwards. Let's just test this real quick. Let's just run it. What is? Okay, the Discord bot's ready. Right, let's get in here. So let's demonstrate this by some mod test. It's in our mod folder or our mod cog. Sorry. So let's go to our mod. So currently says cog mod is working. Let's remove the capital M there. Just to show how this works. Remove it and put M. So you can make any change, like as many as you want, to this file. Make sure it's saved. Obviously, I use autosave, so I don't have to save it. But now we do or mod like that. So or, which is allows we set for restart, mod that. We can also obviously do restart mod. It works the same. This was edit the message, so a bot like lively or anything will pick it up as an edit. But yeah. So this is what I mean by the Discord markup. You see the way there's like a little box around it. This is actually Discord markup. But yeah, see this little box. That's what happens when we do this. So actually, you can do this. Just do that and do like hello. And send it like that. So it just looks a little bit different, and yeah, it's pretty good. So now if we do mod test, cog mod is working. So you see it's changed that. Obviously we can also do the dev, not dev test, reload dev, and that will work. As you can see, we can actually, what we might do is just to make it look similar, go back to our dev.py, and just put, here we'll do our markup again, just so it looks the same. Like that, so we've done that. Obviously you don't have to do that, but I'm going to do it. So it looks the same. And now we'll do reload dev. And bang. And now if we do a reload command, like mod, you'll see it'll be the same. It'll have the markup. You see it there. So yeah, it does actually work on the file it's in, which is pretty weird, but it works. Okay. Next, let's see, what do we need to do? We're going to do 2 more commands, which should basically just copy and paste. Add commands, dot command, parentheses. We actually don't need any aliases for this command. Async def, load, and self, ctx, and cog. Like that. And all we have to do here, we can actually just, no, we're not going to do that. It's just messy here. I was going to copy it, but no. Self.bot.load extension. Make it an F string. So it's basically the same as we did a minute ago. What was that? Cogs.cog. That. And then all we have to do is await ctx.send. Load, or make that an F string. Loaded cog, just like that. Cool. And then we just copy this again. If you didn't guess, we're gonna make an unload command, so just change that to unload. And unloaded. Obviously, you can say whatever you want in these. I'm just saying, well, you know, it makes sense. Unload. And yeah, that should work. Let's have a go. Stop it. Get it going again. Cogs dev. And mod have successfully been loaded. So let's unload. Obviously, let me ask you. So mod test works. So let's also do. Let me do unload mod, and then mod test. And see, it won't work. But then we can also do load mod. And I'll start again. Loaded mod. and now we can do our mod test. Cool, and it's back working. You obviously can't put some markup around here, but I'm not gonna do that. You can make it look however you want. One thing I will say, if you do unload dev, you'll unload it, and now you actually can't load it again. But it's unloaded, but not really much you can do about that. All you have to do is just, you'll see it not found. If you just restart the bot though, you'll see or dev will work again. Okay, so I'm recording this just while editing the video, and I did notice I made a little mistake, and that is not putting the is owner check in these load and unload commands. So yeah, all we have to do, we can just copy it from our reload command and just plonk it in to those two, and now everything should work the same. I mean, it's not the end of the world if you didn't put them in, but I mean, it would mean people can just unload cogs of your bot, and then certain things won't work. So yeah, just make sure you put them in. Everything should work the same. Everything should be good now. And yeah, now we can properly end the video. Without anyone, hacking into your cogs. So yeah, we got a lot done this episode. We obviously did the token thing. And we started cogs. And the next video we'll probably do some moderation stuff like banning members, kicking members, muting, that kind of stuff. And yeah, if you did enjoy it, guys, make sure to like and subscribe. To Decoding, we really appreciate it. And if you have any issues or comments or suggestions, drop a comment below or join the Discord server and we can give you some help there. But yeah, that is the end of this video. I hope to see you guys in the next one. And yeah, goodbye.